Whenever I was younger, I'm 28, we had the magazines and the TV stars and stuff like that. And we didn't really realize or know back then that things were Photoshopped. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to jump right into it because my intros are too long. So we're just going to cut out the intro altogether today. But I'm going to link all the videos that I'm talking about below because I'm not going to have a lot of time to edit this video today. So I'm not going to insert clips or anything like that. I'm going to just link them below. If for some reason you're living under a rock and you have no idea what I'm talking about. As far as the Instagram versus reality video that the H3H3 guy made, I'm not a fan, so I don't even know his name. But I did watch the video in its entirety, so I definitely have an opinion on that. And I have an opinion about Trisha. I wasn't going to make a video about this at all because pretty quickly after this all popped off, the whole James Charles Tati situation popped off. And I fell down the rabbit hole and I couldn't get back out. So we're just going to jump right into it. My child is going to have to come in here because I know I'm going to have to start and stop 600 times. So yeah, he might have to come in here during this video if he starts again. So I make the longest intros. That's why I'm trying to not make one. But yeah, if you hear my son in the background, I promise you he's fine. I can see him right here. But I'm trying to keep him in the other room at least. So yeah, the Instagram versus reality video that the H3H3 podcast dude made, I'm not a fan. I have seen clips of the podcast, but I don't listen to it. So I don't really know much about the guy, but I'm okay with the idea and the point that he was trying to make with the Instagram versus reality thing. What I'm not okay with is him literally bashing their natural appearance in order to make his point. I think he could have made it without bashing Tana and Trisha and the other women that he was talking about in his video. Whenever I was younger, I'm 28, we had the magazines and the TV stars and stuff like that. And we didn't really realize or know back then that things were Photoshopped. And so now the young girls growing up, they have all these people on Instagram who are literally looking perfect all the time to compare themselves to. And I think it's unhealthy. And I think that it is important to let them know that, look, people face-tune their pictures. I also face-tune mine. I try to keep it as natural as possible just because I know people might call me out that know me in real life and be like, you don't look like that. But as far as Trisha, someone who makes her money online and things like that, I do think that she goes a little overboard on the editing, but that's just my opinion. But I also feel like, you know, if you want to do that, go right ahead. It's unrealistic. I think you're setting yourself up to compare your own self to your edited photos all the time. And that's just not helping her self-esteem. And in my opinion, she seems to have low self-esteem. A lot of people have low self-esteem. Sometimes I do. A lot of times I do, you know? So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that or that like she needs help or anything like that. I think a lot of people have been bashing her. And I think people need to step back just a little bit. I also feel like she brings a lot of that on herself with the overly edited pictures. Eventually, you're going to get caught out for it. So I don't like the fact that he was literally saying that like Tana looked like a Twinkie and things like that. I think that's rude. I think it's uncalled for. And I think Tana has a natural body, and I don't think she looks like a Twinkie. Even though the pictures that he was talking about was when she was a little heavier. Like, leave her alone. You didn't have to say that. You could have just... And I honestly think that the bad picture of Tana was also Photoshopped to make her look worse. Just saying. My opinion. My issue with Trisha is that she likes to play the victim. And that is the mentality that is setting you up for failure day after day after day. I do not think Trisha is in any way, shape, or form a good role model for little girls. I think that Trisha is her own person. If she wants to be naked on her Instagram, that's fine. But I also think that people who have younger daughters, they need to maybe make sure that they have other role models other than Trisha. But I also don't think Trisha's trying to be a role model. But that's my issue with her making her video in response to the H3H3 guy's video. If you want to literally be a porn star, you can do that. This is America. But her title of her video was that H3H3 is ruining young girls. No, baby. No. I think the point she was trying to make was that he was bashing her and it hurt her feelings. Because like I said, I do think she has low self-esteem. And that's okay to be emotional about it. But to get on YouTube and say that he's ruining young girls by calling attention to the fact that literally everyone facetunes their photos, I think that's inaccurate. People are not what they look like on Instagram. As a 28-year-old woman, I know that. I know that I smooth out my under eyes sometimes, and that if I have a pimple, I'm going to smooth that thing right off in Facetune. And I'm okay with how I look, but I also know that sometimes that's not a good angle of me, or sometimes I'm just a little bloated. That's okay. That's okay, because all photography is edited. So if you want to fix up your selfie a little bit so that you can fit in on Instagram, that's okay. I think a lot of this falls onto the parents, to make sure that you build up your daughters from a young age to have self-confidence in themselves and to love themselves for who they are and their appearance. If you want to let your child have an Instagram, you should be in tune enough with Instagram to know, like, hey, you can have this app, you can post your picture, but just know that when you're looking at these models and things like that, that's not what they look like in real life. Instagram is so staged, y'all. It's so staged. Seeing, like, these blogger posts, that's their job, is to make a good photo for Instagram. So they literally plan their day around setting up the props and the backdrops and the scenery for their photos. So of course they're going to Facetune them to make them look perfect. That's their job. But a lot of younger girls don't know this. They think that these women just live extravagant lives and that they're just always photo ready. The point he was trying to make was that young girls and people who are in the formative years of their life are comparing themselves to perfection. And none of us are perfect, and we never will be. That's why there are apps like Facetune and Photoshop and things like that. That's why they exist, so that you can have good pictures. That's all it is. It's pictures. It isn't reality. Like right now, I just got a hair in my eye. So if I took a selfie right now, I'm going to whiten my eyeball. For things like that, I think there's nothing wrong with Facetuning. But when you literally make yourself look like an actual different person, that's when it's like, don't be surprised if somebody calls you out on. I think that he could have made that video and made his point without taking it to that extreme. But, I mean, it's YouTube. It's like, that's what people do. They want to go viral. Has talked a lot about how lonely she is in her life and how she has low self-esteem and things like that. I think she's kind of out of touch with reality. So, I think that hit her hard. Like, the truth hurts sometimes, you know what I mean? So I hate to say this, just because I enjoy watching Trisha's videos. A lot of times I think they're lighthearted and she's just being a troll and she's just trying to get views and things like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when someone calls you out on it, you know, don't come back and be like, no, like, I didn't like that, Trisha. It personally doesn't make me happy to make myself look like a completely different person, because I have to go out in public and see people that follow me on Instagram, and I don't want them to be like, I also have seen Trisha put herself in her vlogs and stuff with zero makeup and her face broken out and things like that. So I don't think she always has low self-esteem. But I think that her playing the victim in this situation is not exactly justified. I think it's very easy to get caught up in social media and that be your reality when it's not. It's so not. But it's also her job. So it's kind of a catch-22 for her a little bit. But I don't think there's anything wrong with taking a break from virtual reality. Okay, my son is getting real impatient with me right now, so I gotta go. But, yeah, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all in the next one.